Our next category is the Virtualizer. Our winner, Dell Technologies, and Rachel Henke, Director, Global Brand Advertising Content and Customer Storytelling. In a year when the pivot to virtual progressed faster and farther than anyone could have imagined, Rachel and her team stopped at nothing to keep customers moving forward. To introduce Rachel, please welcome Jessica Sibley, Chief Revenue Officer at Forbes and longtime ANA New York City board member. Jessica?
Thank you, Victoria. It is Forbes's and my great pleasure to sponsor the Virtualizer category and to present this Communicators of the Year award to Dell's Rachel Henke. At Forbes, our goal is to deliver communities at scale through all of our platforms: digital, branded content, events, social, and video, to name a few. We chronicle success by celebrating those who have made it and those who aspire to make it, while convening and curating the most influential leaders and entrepreneurs who are driving change and transforming business, making a significant impact on the world. And our audience has never been larger, reaching more C-level executives, millennials, and audiences that really matter and who are bringing the most important conversations to life. When the pandemic hit, we knew we had to rethink our live event experience and pivoted completely to virtual. It's with that in mind and knowing how much goes into the virtual experience that I am so pleased to present the Virtualizer Award to Rachel. When COVID-19 sent the world home, Rachel and the Dell Technologies brand communications team kicked into high gear to support the customers and communities Dell serves by taking work, school, and life virtual. From supporting school districts, navigating remote and hybrid learning, to spinning up drive-through pickup locations for Dell's products, the brand team virtualized communications, events, and experiences, stopping at virtually nothing to serve and stay connected to their stakeholders. It's my great pleasure and honor to introduce and really to congratulate Rachel on this incredible award and to have her share Dell's inspiring story of resilience and resolve.
Thank you. And hello from Austin, Texas. I'm honored to be here and to be representing Dell Technologies for the Virtualizer Award, virtually no less. So, 2020 was a year that challenged all of us to be virtualizers in both our personal and professional lives. I'll spare everyone the details about my personal virtualization approaches, which largely leaned into unlimited screen time for my kids. Tonight, I'm going to share what happened at Dell Technologies and how 2020 was a year of putting our customer first in conventional and unconventional ways. So let's go back a year ago, February 2020. Remember those days? Going to the movies, hugging your neighbors, dining out, kids leaving the house for school, any of us leaving the house for anything. Those were the days. At Dell Technologies, it was business as usual in February 2020. For a bit of context, we've been working for years to establish our B2B brand as much more than a PC company, highlighting our end-to-end technology capabilities in areas like storage and cloud. And the next step in that marketing plan, we were about to launch an entirely new brand campaign for the company. We were in the final editing stages of creative and ready to premiere during the NCAA March Madness. Then, in early March, it all seemingly came crashing down. The world as we knew it changed, and every day brought news of COVID implications that made us personally and professionally pause. Where do we go from here? What's the right next move? For the remainder of our time together, I'd like to share two important ways we approached this unprecedented situation. First, what we did as a company in service of our team members and customers, and two, how we shifted our marketing to show up in meaningful and helpful ways. So we'll start with what we did for our own team members and our customers. So Dell Technologies has been a proponent of flexible work for many years now. So for most of us, nearly 90% of us, we were able to pivot to work from home practically overnight. But many of our customers were not set up to be remote. So not only did we become an immediate tech provider for those urgently needing it, we also stepped in as consultants on best practices for going remote securely and fast. For some customers, we turned parking lots into tech distribution centers that allowed major companies to go completely remote, in some cases within 48 hours. And understandably, the healthcare industry was incredibly stressed. Many hospitals exasperating power supply, disrupting services, and impacting critical patient data. We have so many stories of working around the clock and around the globe to ensure hospital data was restored, secure, and available. And we didn't stop there. Our team members were empowered to do what it takes to help where they can, which resulted in thousands of small yet huge actions. So for example, using Zoom was already a part of our everyday life, but that wasn't the case for school teachers. One team member helped his child's teacher, and then pretty much that whole school, set up remote classrooms. Another employee came through for a Dallas area homeless shelter. As the facility shifted to sheltering in place and providing round-the-clock services, where previously they offered meals and a bed for the night, they were trying to provide the services and care without any computers. So our team member jumped in and provided laptops for all the staff so they could communicate with each other remotely while still performing their major services of helping residents find homes and jobs. Here's a look of how we helped.
To protect the health and safety of our clients, we were following CDC recommended guidelines of distancing and spacing, and there was just about 50% of our staff that now were working remotely. The problem came in that working remotely, they had absolutely no technology, no laptops, and so we were faced with a challenge.
The world was being shut down. Tons of businesses were being shut down. We're all being impacted. When Mersham called, I needed lots of people to help solve this problem for the shelter. And their response was exactly the same as mine. Stop what you're doing and help. And I think that speaks to Dell's culture, and I'm extremely proud of that.
He told us that when he described the shelter situation to his boss, the manager said, "Stop what you're doing and help." This was actually the rally cry throughout Dell Technologies. Meanwhile, our leadership at Dell Technologies also shifted their approach and perspectives on what productivity meant. Managers were introduced to empathetic human leadership styles, as they were also introduced to their team members' kids, dogs, and cats. We were zooming right into each other's homes, seeing decor choices, views from their windows. Everything was instantly so personal. And our CEO, Michael Dell, in addition to being on countless troubleshooting calls with global customers, also led remote story time for team members and their kids on a suddenly virtual take your kid to work day. And by team member kid demand, he actually did this multiple times. It's pretty cute. Michael Dell's approach to his employees, customers, and our community and the world during the pandemic led him to be named #1 on Fast Company's list of tech CEOs that improved their public perception during the pandemic. Now, that certainly wasn't the goal, but when you lead with your heart, it shows. And his intentions were clear, and people responded. But here's the big question. Did we believe it? Did we believe his heart was really in it? We absolutely did. The pride we felt for our company, and in particular our leader, was enormous throughout this process, and still is today. Meanwhile, the hashtag #IWorkForDell went wild on our social media feeds. We couldn't believe our luck to work for a company and leadership that knew where we needed to be before we even knew it ourselves. And then we all turned around and did it for our customers. I'll never forget it. It was like one big, huge pay it forward. Looking back, the actions we took as a company defined us in the moment and will for the future. And while so much of what we did was behind the scenes, it showed us how relentless we are as a company, both to our customers and to ourselves. So, marketing during a pandemic. There was no playbook for that. In March, when things started to unfold, we put our new platform launch on hold. As marketers, you can understand how difficult that was to do, considering we'd spent the better half of a year building it. But as the pandemic progressed and the hearts and minds of the people of the world shifted, we looked at our platform and realized while it was developed to be optimistic, now it sounded a bit tone deaf. So we started work on a new platform during a pandemic, working remote, and really not knowing what kind of world we were developing the platform for. In the meantime, we needed to keep the lights on. So we looked towards content and video to keep our voice in the marketplace. We had this unofficial mantra, serve, don't sell. We developed content that was raw but effective and relevant to the current environment. We packaged up what we were doing and partnered with publishers to do a live event series featuring our customers, executives, and experts. And we didn't stop there. We made a TV spot featuring our customer service reps that were there to help. We shot with Dell Technologies team members in their real homes, telling the world that they'd be there, doing what they always did to help us all get through this. Here's our spot.
Now more than ever, you need technology you can rely on.
頼れる人ですよね. I'm a Dell Technologies advisor.
Ich auch.
我也是.
And if you're a small business, we're with you.
We are with you.
Estamos com você.
We want to help.
So we'll be right here.
At home, answering your calls, providing support,
And standing by you every step of the way.
Bye-bye.
We wanted to thread the needle of not dwelling on unprecedented times, rather the solutions coming out of it. In the meantime, we continued developing our new platform. We wanted to find an authentic approach that was true to who we were. And we found that some of the key points of inspiration were based on our actions over the past several months. The relentless spirit to figure it out, no matter the challenges or obstacles. And we knew this driven, committed approach was going to be relevant for years to come. And this became our golden thread of inspiration. And lo and behold, our Stop at Nothing platform was born. It was the result of who we are and what our customers need, an essential technology partner that stops at nothing so they can succeed. We had our big idea, but still a pandemic. And we needed to produce a campaign that got the word out. So we did what we always do. We got to work. To get teams motivated and introduce the concept of our new platform, last September, we developed an internal sizzle reel to build excitement around how we were going to go to market later in October. So I'm sure most of us have done this. You snag clips from the internet, B-roll, internal team member footage, then you drop in a great music track and it feels good. But we put together a reel that made people feel great. So great, in fact, that we were asked to use the reel at the now remote Dell Technologies World event in October, which happened to be 3 days before a new spot was going to air, kicking off our new platform. So we polished up a few scenes so it was industrial use friendly, and we did it. Now, when we've done sizzle reels in the past, they're flashy and fun, they have their moment, and then they make way for the actual highly produced campaign. So that was the plan for this one. Then the call came in. The sizzle reel was getting so much great feedback. We were asked if we could run it this weekend during our launch at the World Series. Okay, so this moment was big. Was this the right thing to do for our brand? Run an internal video externally? This also meant getting everything broadcast ready and changing our media buy within 48 hours. At Dell Technologies, we like to say we're scrappy, but this was ultra scrappy, even for us. So after getting over production value concerns, we really focused on how it made people feel. It made them feel excited and proud. It told our story and it showed our commitment to our customers. What we had been feeling as a company throughout the pandemic, both internally and for each other, and externally for our customers, was so evident in this sizzle reel, it was hard not to react to it. And hell, nothing in 2020 was conventional, So we did it. Here's what we ran.
Welcome to the future. You're gonna wanna get ready. You're gonna wanna get ready. You're gonna wanna get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future. Here we are making history. Higher than we've ever been. You're gonna wanna get ready. Get ready, get ready. Welcome to the future.
So this kicked off our new platform. A platform that was built by the actions and grit that defined the past year and gave us and our customers confidence in our capabilities. And most of all, our commitment to stop at nothing in service to them. But once we had this platform, we still needed to make the work. Still was COVID and in record time. So again, no easy task. But channeling our own ethos, we got to work. Our creative team flew to Slovenia, where production was still open. And thanks to the magic of Zoom, our marketing team was able to guide the shoot back in Austin, Texas, even though it was in the middle of the night our time. And with our combined efforts and stop at nothing attitude, we were able to create a bold breakthrough campaign that told the world what Dell Technologies was all about. Here it is.
We started with computers. We didn't stop at computers. We didn't stop at storage. We didn't stop at cloud. We didn't stop at wholly integrated intergalactic solutions. We kept going, working with our customers to enable the kind of technology that can guide an astronaut back to safety, or help make a hospital come to you instead of you going to it. And we didn't stop there. We're even working to make packaging that comes from waste instead of producing it. Because we saw a world that was full of challenges and ready for solutions. So when it comes to your business, you know we'll stop at nothing.
So looking back, like I have, in order to share why I think we are granted this award, I now believe that this whole experience was perhaps our silver lining from one of the hardest years of a lifetime. We lived our purpose, tested our mettle, came through for our customers and ourselves. When your words, actions, and beliefs all converge like this, nothing can stop you. So I'll leave you with these lessons that we knew theoretically before the pandemic and that were proven to be true after going through it. Always be authentic. Always be helpful. Never be opportunistic. And when hit with difficult times, serve, don't sell. And if you're lucky enough to have leadership that is both loved and respected, thank your lucky stars for that too. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of Dell Technologies. Now, back to Victoria.